We have the final series of the GO4Heroes Monthly Final. It is the best of 3 series between ATN Fancy and Gamers2, and both games have shown us exceptionally play throughout the entire tournament. Especially ATN Fancy with that aggression that is of course their trademark, and then Gamers2 with the experience that they have, just like taking out teams, like pushing team to advance to the finals now. And our first map is going to be Sky Temple, and the composition that we're having, if you look at these lineups, it's again just an Illidan on the side of Gamers2. And it's not only that Illidan that they're running, they have once again Vikings on this map, which they of course really like to get far ahead in experience. But then you look at the side of Alternate Fancy and you're like, wait a second. Every single hero that is in their lineup has a CC, except for the damage dealer Jaina, and she can slow them down. So suddenly Fancy apparently saying like, guys, you know what? The last map against Team Arthurs worked pretty well with that chain CC. We should probably try to do that again. And they're doing it on this map right now. So they have a sick composition when it comes to crowd control and to stuns. If they lock a target down, they should be able to take on to kill it. And well, if Gamers2 can counteract that somehow, if they can get ahead with the comp that they're playing with the Vikings soaking the lanes, that's something we're going to find out right now. Alternate Fancy definitely has a very special composition there. If they can make it work, that's a different question, of course. We're going to answer that on Sky Temple right now.
Alright boys, game number 1 of the grand final of the Heroes of the Storm monthly final, after we just had the semi-final number 2 after we had semi-final number 1. So yeah, there's a lot of finals being thrown around these days, and we're going into Sky Temple, the first map of the best of 3 series, and this is going to be pretty awesome. I'm loving these builds already. There's going to be a lot of fun. To the left side we have Alternate Fancy with Devis on Tyrande, Bloomby and Muradin. They got the roaming squad, happy with more CC thanks Uther. We have Crosby on Jaina, and look at that, Darkmog against on Karrigan, so even more CCs and stuns for Alternate Fancy. They really love their stun lock, don't they? To the right side of the map, it's ADRD on the Lost Vikings. We have Nuborak, played by Shichu. Leo from Poland is playing Rhaegar. Nika on Sylvanas, and Illidan, played by Rezro, who is a sub player that they're using today since Juve couldn't make it. So, yeah. Oh, what on earth? Okay, what's going on? Spy games on level 1? I was told that I'm going to see something fancy from one of the teams, but I'm not quite sure if that is going to be it. Down here, well, there's ADRD, and they take him down. Did they already see him? Not quite sure how exactly that happened, but we have spy games taken. Okay, so you gain stealth, and basically he's a healing ward. So he's a bit of a healing ward that's being used. Oh, but the stun locks, wow, 2 kills already. Well, not quite, 1.25. That's what we're having there. By the way, we see once again for Gamers2 currently that build that I personally really like on Rhaegar when you're running with a melee assassin, going into that full shield build. Whoa! Oh my god, did you see them jump over there? That just looked so cool. That looked like Lord of the Rings right there, jumping the bridge. That was pretty sick. But yeah, down here they have now vision, thanks to ADRD, as you can see. So already having that healing radius, checking everything that is happening down there. Very interesting. Crosby is already moving over there. And of course they saw exactly what's happening in this case. But yeah, this is actually going to be a very interesting one. I mean, currently we have Illidan down to the bot lane. We're having that build that we've been talking about already in one of the games earlier. I think it was in Blackheart's Bay where they played that. Again, that stun lock. I mean, I've been talking about that. Nearly every hero that we are seeing on their lineup has a stun, and they are really just trying to lock them down into oblivion. By the time that the stun is finally off, the stun of the second or the first hero that used his is already off cooldown. So right now this is just hunting season for them. They are trying to get the kills, and they are getting them. ADRD is dying here again. 1.75 kills in favor of Alternate Fancy. These guys are so super aggressive. That one game that we saw earlier today where they played against Team Arthurs was absolutely insane. I mean, aggression all along. Within the first 3 minutes we had already 8 or 9 kills. Wow! Balog just barely gets away there. In experience, it's actually still a very even game. It's actually Gamers2 who is currently ahead of this. There's the second talent now for Shield. Lightning Shield's duration does not start until an enemy is nearby. This is actually pretty sick. Like, we're also going to see the 7 shield talent, and you might look at these and you're like, oh my god, what is that? What kind of Rhaegar build is that? It's actually a pretty smart one when you're running a melee assassin that relies heavily on his attacks, the auto attacks. With Zeratul it's crazy, but with Illidan it's also great. The first one increases just like the damage that you dish out with your basic attacks, and that's amazing for Illidan. It's even better for Zeratul. So that's the whole focus of this build. On the first 3 talents that you take, you go for shield, and then later on you just go for more of a normal build on Rhaegar here. So you're definitely going to see that in a bit. So we already have spy games taken. I mean, so far it looks like they are just repositioning Eric a little bit. Where is he actually? He is over there in the mid lane. So let's see how those spy games really can come into play for them, because right now I'm not quite sure what they're going to do with it. You give up the Viking Horde, and I guess from all the talents that you have, the Viking Horde is probably one of those that you can drop the easiest. You know what I mean? I mean, it's still like a talent that it's kind of nice to get, and especially if you're able to soak like 2 of the lanes and get those healing globes, then it's kind of nice. The regeneration globes, but still. The map pressure that we are seeing coming out of Alternate Fancy is crazy though in this game. With all that stun that they have, it's really important that you always make sure that you tell your opponents when there's a rotation. Sorry, your allies, of course. Your opponents, that wouldn't work. Yeah, that you tell your allies what exactly is going on. We have on level 1 with the wind taken here. Uh-oh, there comes the lockdown, and Illidan is dead. Rezro taking the bait, Crosby moving in and just baiting it out. Up to the top lane, on the other hand, they're going to lose one of the forts here. And that's, of course, really nice pushing potential that we're already having from Gamers2. Using just Sylvanas again with the Black Arrow trade to go in, and Shifu is helping out with those beetles. But the bot lane, they're very much trying to return the favor, Alternate Fancy that is, and try to close that gap in experience. Not really an easy task though, if you try to outpush a Sylvanas. We have rotations now also starting in from Gamers2, since the temple at the bot lane is already starting to appear. We're having extended spikes and bed of barbs taken. It's not the full beetle build that we're having here on Nubarak. So Nubarak got a few beetles in up in the top lane to help with the pushing power, but it's not really that heavy lane presence that we normally see from him. Instead, they are trying to rely on their fights a bit more and the control within those fights, and for a very good reason. Especially Illidan is not going to have an easy game here, considering the builds that we've just described, where we have, of course, not only Muradin going for the lockdown here with his Stormbolt, Piercing Bolt on level 7, but also we have Reverberation and Thunderburn taken. That's always something that Illidan doesn't really like too much, since it slows down his auto attacks, and he's really relying heavily on those. And with all the stun that we're seeing from Uther, from Kerrigan and Sylvanas, it's very tricky to make something happen in this case. ADRD, the mastermind of the team, apparently came up with a bit of a different build for Vikings. So far it's only one talent that he changed out. Let's see if that's going to help them to a kill. Bot lane so far was soaked by Gamers2. They're very, very close to level 10 now. That would be the talent, of course, to get to start that team fight, but it looks like both of the teams are going to end up at level 10 roughly at the same time. Pressure again up here in the mid. There's a mule on the side of Alternate Fancy though, so they can easily keep that fort alive. Rotations are happening once again. This time it's of course all about the soaking, and there's the heroic abilities. We're having Metamorphosis started. There's also in this case now a Wailing Arrow. We have Ancestral Healing, Longboat and Locust Swarm. Kerrigan is trying... Oh, very well done here. Rezro jumping away in the last second. I kind of like that. That was really good. If you're good at dodging Kerrigan combos, then that's really worth a whole lot, because Kerrigan is such a menace when she's playing against you. One moment of inattention and you might find yourself in a stun lock that you will never get out of. So very well played so far by Illidan after that initial death down at the bot lane where he just got a bit too overconfident. We're having now up at the top ADRD. Ooh, yeah, he's not going to get jumped just yet by Bloomby, but yeah. So we still see down here the map. Oh, actually they're going for Kerrigan this time, and she's already out of cooldown. Here comes the Metamorphosis. Nice silence, but they can't follow it up. There was no lockdown, and so far Uther hasn't really shown his cards. He doesn't go into Divine Storm or Shield yet, so we're gonna see him with either one of the two. Kerrigan would love a Divine Shield. Oh, Bloomby goes in. They're trying to steal the camp away. Here comes the battle. The Vikings are soaking the 3 lanes, so it's basically a 4 versus 5 right now against Gamers2, and the Polish team is moving away here, but at least they got the Siege Giants, so they got everything that they wanted. Move away for now. And still no level 10 talent taken on the side of Alternate Happy, who's playing the healer for his team. Well, Olaf already moving away down here, and actually he's going to escape. He's going to get away. They are ahead, like a level, an entire level, thanks to the Vikings. The Vikings, as you can see here, in experience, have been soaking a lot. I mean, right now we are currently looking at 9,000 experience in total for the Vikings. That's more than double what any other hero in the game got. Even Illidan, who had a bot lane to himself, was not able to get this much experience right now. Bot lane, by the way, ADRD is getting a bit cheeky with those Vikings, isn't he? Up at the top, on the other hand, we're having also a temple about to be taken by Illidan. Rezro is moving in over here. The 13 talent is just because of that Viking soak going to be so much faster. But Olaf is going to be lost. Actually jumping away, trying to just delay them a bit longer. So that's a bit of experience that Alternate is definitely going to get here. But we also see the mid lane now being pressured by the rest of the Vikings. And of course camps taken on the map to create some more pressure at the top lane. They just can rotate over once again. And there is a Leo getting hit by that owl, moving into it actually. There's the longboat already, trying to use that. Darkmog is there, they're trying to kill the Vikings out. The Ancestral Healing is not hitting, and that's why they lose both of the Vikings. Ancestral Healing, the longboat. Nika is now dying too. Alternate Fancy with 5 kills to 0. That CC combo that they are using here is so damn strong. And they go straight for boss. It's 13 versus 13, but without Sylvanas in the mix, it's something that you can definitely do. We're currently having here also, of course, Impatience, the Virtue taken. Feral lunge now for extra damage, and they're trying to contest. They are actually trying to contest it. They go for the boss, but again, that CC chain, you just can't break it. They go down, and, well, the boss is going to end up in the hands of Alternate Fancy. 6 kills against 0 for them just now. And we have so much control. I mean, this is getting crazy. Like, seriously, like, no jokes, but, like, look at the talents that we have. This is absolutely, this is ridiculous. This is so much CC. Think about all the stuns that they have as abilities, right? And then we have a double polymorph, which can lock down Illidan even more. That's more control in those fights. They are playing a full control build here. They're just like trying to control the entire fight with their stuns and with also, of course, the Divine Shield, with the Shrink Ray that they're using here. I have no idea how you would break that unless you get the perfect silence off and can follow that up immediately. They jump back and they do well, but still, Gamers2 is in trouble right now. We have also, once again, here, push against the keep. 14 versus 14. I love how we're seeing the XP soak happening, so at least they're not falling behind in experience, even though we didn't get a single kill in just yet. But still, 12,000 experience on the Vikings. ADRD is doing a masterful job with that, but of course he's going to lose a few of those as well. The Vikings down here are about to die. Bloomby and Crosby are trying to take care of that. Actually, at this point, they don't really care about it any longer because they simply move away. It takes too much time to take care of them. So that's why they say, well, why would we chase them too much? ADRD is moving back as well, up here at the top lane. We have him with the Balok and Olaf running into different directions. And yeah, so they're actually just jumping away. Eric to the left, Balok to the right. Look at that, like, could you be more annoying? And he escapes! You got to be kidding me! There's 3 heroes and he escapes, doesn't lose a Viking. They just decided it's not worth it to kill a single Viking for that little bit of experience. 15 versus 15. And well, right now we have the move to the bot lane where apparently Shiku is starting to get his beetles in and they are trying to burn that away with Sylvanas. They're just counter pressuring. They're just rotating through the map. They don't really care about anything else. They're saying like, why would we fight? You have the much better setup for team fight. We don't need that. And nope, they're not getting the Vikings either. Alright, so up at the top lane, the Vikings are still like la 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 la. Getting a bit of damage in. Down to the bot lane. Just look at that, they're breaking through the wall. They're breaking through the freaking wall, and they have to give up the temple. Temple given up, wall broken, and they simply move away. I can't believe that. Level 16 hits faster for Gamers2. Every single fight that we've seen so far ended in the hands of... yeah, ended actually in favor of Alternate Fancy. But right now, at least these moves, they work out just so well for their opponents. The Vikings are still at the top lane. They're starting to move in over here now as well. And that might be the moment of truth. Quadruple blood for blood. That's the 16 spike that they've been waiting for. Yeah, quadruple blood for blood. And wow. Even with the Ancestral Healing trying to get through, no way. Lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. And Nubarak dead, Illidan dead, everybody dead. They're trying to go for the rest of the team now as well. It is too much CC. Sylvanas is dead too. They just kill everybody. Olaf is now dead as well and they move in. This is way too much crowd control that they're currently using here. With Stone Form, with also Northern Exposure. I mean, hey, why not even more damage? Hell yeah, bring it. We have also Blood for Blood for them. And Uta is going for Benediction now after Sylvanas, oh sorry, Jane. Tyrande already made sure that they got an extra supply of damage thanks to the two-shot aura that was taken there. crazy comp on the side of Alternate. I mean, this team has been doing so well in the last few weeks. They are so incredibly strong, it is crazy. They are amazing. If you followed their, oh, I don't really want to say career just yet because we're like too early in Heroes of the Storm, but if you followed their way through the European ranks from the start, when they were still Team Fancy, Alternate picked them up, and from the get-go they've been doing really well. They got a couple, they were very, very reminiscent of other teams that were doing well at the time. I mean, we had a couple of teams like, for example, Kick back then, which is now Nihilum, which were roughly on the same level. They were doing basically very well. Like, they were kind of interchangeable for a time, I feel. Like, very similar in the styles that they've been using, but they have come such a long way, and they have been constantly improving. It's just a pleasure to watch their games. That aggression that we're seeing from them, that playstyle is so entertaining. And in this case, they got a great draft. Gamers2, on the other hand, I mean, they are one level behind, but these guys have been around for ages, and they've been doing really well. In the end of the Storm that we just casted last weekend, they reached the finals, where Team Liquid proved to be stronger, but still, these guys are very, very good, and they have to showcase it, though. But they reached the final again. Look at that! Like, even with an immediate attempt to go for the Ancestral Healing, there's just no chance to do anything about it. There's just nothing that he can do. There's another lockdown already, and they kill Shihu now as well. Everybody is dying here. The Vikings are trying to soak as many lanes as they possibly can, and Gamers2 didn't get a single kill just yet. Once again, Darkmog is jumping in. They're trying to get the stun against the backline here. Well, there is no front line anymore, so I guess it's the line. We're having them taking everybody down, and they just move straight for another keep. That's keep number 2 that they take. The Vikings at least get one of the lanes, at least a few of the shots in from the temple. But does it really matter? Once that all of your structures is down, a single temple is basically enough to take your core down. And they could go for the boss now as well. Like, damage, just look at the damage here, look at the healing. This is just absolutely, this is brutal. At this point, like, it's not even that much damage that they're running here. 23,000, 21,000, that's good numbers. It's not like it's bad or anything, but it's not like we're having a hero in the game that suddenly has Kel'Thuz's damage. That's absolutely crazy, but it's on-point damage, it's burst damage. It's like, take a target down and never allow it to be healed again, and that's what has been happening throughout the entire game. They've been doing so damn well here. And once again, the Vikings, this time apparently they are worth chasing. The level 20 talent, by the way, is now also ready, and that's the Omega Storm that we're seeing for Kerrigan. Kerrigan is a monster. She's already great, but in this case, they are trying to run down the rest of the opponents up to the top. ADRD was able to just save one of the Vikings. Well, and as I said, Kerrigan is there. Go, go, go is being used, but yeah, this time you're not going to get away. Sorry, Fatty, but that's it. Yep, that is Baylor going down. A little bit more cardio, my friend, and then you might be able to run away from something like this, but in that case, nope. That is no escape for you. Level 20 versus level 19. 12.25 kills versus 0. Not even with a quad blood for blood did they get a kill just yet. Good stun here. Quite sure if that was intended, but the stun was pretty on point. But can they get that kill? Stun, 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 and goodbye Anubarak. Anubarak, that's what it is. Nothing else. Bloomby survives the blood for blood comp, and they just take down Illidan. They go straight for Leo. Rhaegar is dead now as well, and yeah, Gamers2, they are currently getting an Uber here for sure. This is just insane. Maybe AD already gets the first kill of the game for them, so that they don't go out without killing a single hero. Nika is going to try that, rocking that golden tiger fist with a great hint. And Devis gets away. No, there's the kill. Spin to win, but it is a full wipe once more. And well, that could be core. GG already called, but at least they got a kill. 17 kills against 1. That's what we're having in this game. 17 against 1. Game number 1 ending in favor of Alternate Fancy. An impressive performance here, showcasing their crowd control build, and I'm pretty sure that they're not going to get this one through the draft again. Game number 2 is of course going to come up in just a bit here in the best of 3 series at the GO4Heroes Monthly Final.
The sickest crowd control ever. Oh my god, like these stuns, that was absolutely insane. By the time that the stun of the last hero that used his stun chain wear off, the first one had his cooldown ready again and could just apply another one. It was absolutely sick. I mean, they took down targets left, right, bottom, center the entire time. Great play here on the side of Alternate Fancy, and therefore the lead in the final series of the GO4Heroes Monthly Final. Game number 2 is the map choice of Gamers2, and it is Haunted Mines. They are going to try something different here. They want to have a quick game against Alternate Fancy right now, trying to take them down. The thing is though, and that is something that they might not be prepared for, that Alternate Fancy just recently tried the same strategy against Team Liquid. So they definitely tried a lot of compositions on Haunted Mines, prepared for this map in particular, and know how to play it. Oftentimes the thought process when you pick Haunted Mines is that your opponent might not be as experienced as you, because it's not really a map that we see a whole lot in competitive play. It's popping up a little bit more often, and Alternate Fancy was one of the teams that actually picked it against another team. So they know how to play there, and they also made sure that Gamers2 could not get that massive push comp with an Asmodan and a double promote, picking Tacita away from the opponent. So guys, this is the second map, and we could see a 2-0 victory for Alternate Fancy if Gamers2 is not able to take this map right now. But of course the Polish team is very, very eager to win the final here and win the next 2 maps and turn things around. If that happens, we're going to find out right now. Haunted Mines coming up between Gamers2 and Alternate Fancy.
Game number 2 in the final. Our best of 3 series here starts with Alternate to the left side. Alternate Fancy, they actually are in the lead in the best of 3 series already. That crowd control setup that they had in the last match was absolutely insane. It was out of this world. And now they are trying to run a different comp on Haunted Mines, which was the map that Gamers2 chose here. We have Tacita for Alternate on, Davis playing Tacita here, Crosby on Khaldor, Darkmog on Carrigan, Bloomby on Muradin, and Happy playing Uther. To the right side, it is Gamers2, the Polish team, with ADRD on Abatha, Shiku on Anubarak, Rezro, the sub for Juve, is playing Illidan. We have Nika on Zagara, and Leo from Poland on Brightwing. So yeah, actually going into, look at that, he's going still into that survival instincts on level 1. This is a talent that has been taken in the recent past as well when he was playing that hero. A bit of a hybrid build between focus on Illidan support and that. Look at that mid lane, by the way. Once again, we have in the early game a lot of aggression on the side from Alternate Fancy, just moving straight into the middle of the map and saying like, hey, this map belongs to us. Tacita is claiming the top lane right now. They were really trying to make sure that Gamers2 wasn't able to get like the double promote in there. And so far they've been doing good. Again, the attempt to jump in. Leo! Not getting fully stunned out there. But they also have the gravity laps that they actually use with this. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, of course, Khaldor also has a bit of CC there. It's just that pushing power that they're up against, which is not going to be easy to break, because Shiku and Nika having a Nubarak with Beetle build, having also, of course, Abatha support, and then Zagara jumping in, that's not really easy to deal with. Abatha, by the way, is soaking the top lane pretty much solo. Look at that, that troll is already moving out on the lane here. And it's just like saying, alright, like, what the hell? Like, moves away, and yeah, okay, like, he's a bit crazy. He's definitely a bit crazy. ADRD, like, dude, that's not normal. Running out with an avatar just like that, you have a death wish, my friend. Yeah, it looks like Bloomby is taking those creep tumors away, at least for now. But yeah, this game is going to be pretty fun, I want to say. The games on this map in general are always quite entertaining, and I don't think this is going to be an exception. For now, we have a bit of an experience lead for the boys of, well, actually, like, it's going to even out. But Alternate Fancy is at least for a couple of seconds a bit ahead. Then mines are opening in 10, and that's, of course, when we are going to see everybody just, like, storm down and get those skulls. Oh, that's the worst time to die. Oh, you should play, yeah. Be really careful here. Okay, so they're jumping in. Here comes Illidan. Illidan getting locked down once. Abatha already helping him out there. Up to the top lane. We're seeing experience still being gathered. ADRD is doing his thing. And down in the mines, we already see them just rotating towards the camp and getting the first few skulls in. But Alternate Fancy is doing the same thing. Shihu is completely away from the rest of the team, but they are just pulling a 2-arc here. They're just like rushing through the mines, going from camp to camp, stealing as many of the skulls as they can, and then they're moving away. To the top lane, Illidan. And Shiku with a stun. Illidan actually gets away, at least for now. He's gonna escape? He is going to escape, actually. Who is going to be the first Bloods here? Happy is extremely low himself, so is Carrigan, but they turn around, they try to go for Anubarak. Where is that burrow charge? Doesn't have it, stuns! But yes, Anubarak is getting killed again. Too many beetles, too many bugs, and the bugs have been eliminated. Level 4 versus level 4, and that's where we're seeing now an Envenom for both sides. Actually, no, only on the side of Carrigan. Nobody else currently running Envenom in this game. We're having the Beetle build of Anubarak, not be not a big surprise. Promote on Brightwing and promote on Tacita, but Tacita is down. And this is a kill for a kill so far. 1 kill each, and it looks like we might see Bloomby dying as well. Yes, there it is, the polymorph. That's exactly the one that they needed to take the dwarf out as well. That Ragdoll just getting like blown all over the map. That hammer, only Thor can pick that one up now. We have AD already at the top lane, still soaking the experience. And currently, if you really move out with Abathur onto the map, then you can make sure that your buddy is soaking XP as well while you're helping the rest of your team out. But Alternate Fancy isn't even trying to go down to contest that boss. Actually, as I say, they still move into the mines. They try it. They try to go for it. And looks like we're actually seeing Gamers2 move back. They say 48 skulls. That's enough. We're going to try and just like take one of the heroes out that moves down. And that's in this case Uther. But they're not getting that kill in. They lose a Nuburak instead. And Bloomby wasn't even with the team. Zagara, of course, can still push that lane. And that's one of the dangers that you, of course, always have when you start to spend time on the boss down here. That you will be losing structures to your opponent because they're just going straight for the push. Well, but to make that actually like not happen, we have Darkmock and Devis moving down to the bot lane through the mines and trying to just, like come in from behind, take down Zagara, but Zagara was already moving away there. So still a bit of an experience lead for Gamers2 that we're currently seeing for them. We have Reconstitution taking level 1 for Zagara. We could also see a lot of scouting drones here taken by Brightwing, and that granted a lot of vision throughout the entire game. So with Abathur already like taking down a few of those tower shots, that boss is still going to do quite a lot of work. This was actually like really interesting. For a long time, everybody said that Abathur is a really bad hero on mines, just because you could never really like. There's not too like the map is not really big. You know, you can't really soak a lane without exposing yourself to a lot of danger, since your opponent just has to cross like one lane to make sure that he gets a bit of damage in. But the good thing about Abathur is that with all the pushing power that you have, and especially the locusts traveling the lane, you normally get in a lot of locusts close to your opponent's wall, soak up ammunition of the towers, and then your golem is in a position where you can do so much more damage. Right now, they changed a little bit. Oh, good kill against Brightwing up here at the top. And again, that control. Wow, look at Kerrigan getting like the complete stun off, and they're getting the double kill again. This is insane! These guys with their Muradin, Bloomby is just playing such an amazing dwarf. Nomi is looking at this and is, oh my god, I'm jealous. There's the kill also against now Zagara. Great stuns into stuns, like they are making it look easy, and now they are also ahead in the game. Their boss is gonna push the top lane. Abathur is even moving away a little bit from the wall because he already knows that the Kerrigan is gonna try to make something happen here. We're having now a Mule for both of the teams, but yeah, that is a pretty significant lead that we're seeing for Alternate Fancy right now. We have battle momentum taken on Kerrigan and also on Zagara. Both of the Zerg Queens are running with battle momentum on level 7. And Brightwing, interestingly enough, went for Cleanse. I mean, I don't really blame Brightwing because that helps a lot against the CC chains, but you give up Gust of Healing. And Gust of Healing is an amazing talent when you are trying to get some healing power into the team fight. Up at the top lane right now, that fort is definitely going to go down. At the bot lane, it looks like Alternate Fancy is easily going to be able to defend this one. Or are they? I mean, they should be. There's a bit of promote happening as well, and Abathur is of course going to push in with the locusts too, but they shouldn't have a problem keeping this one alive, especially not with Tacita being able to shield. So this boss is going to be in a much better position. The situation for Alternate Fancy is just insanely good right now. They're in a very good spot. They definitely won the first mines. Well, it was a 50-50 trade, kind of. But we see them now with level 10 already, a level advantage, a better position for their golem. The golem spawns right at the keep, whereas we're seeing down here for Alternate Fancy still a fort up, so very well done. The Polish team is struggling against this. They definitely are. The first game already went in favor of Team Alternate Fancy, and they are trying to do the exact same thing here once again. Not with the same heroes, but it's all about the CC for them. They have changed heroes around a little bit, and that Tacita was also them just saying, okay, we don't want you to run a double promote against us. We need something. We need to take Tacita away. But the rest of the team is still looking very strong with all those additional CCs, and even the Gravity Labs on Khaldor moving into that. So you have a couple of very nice things that set up that CC chain for them. And if you so want, they kind of exchanged Jaina with Tassadar. Not quite, but I mean Tassadar in this case is the only one who doesn't really have any kind of stun or disabler. So they could later on also go into additional shrink rays like we did in the last game, especially to lock down Resro and his Illidan. And there's the level 10 talent now finally also for Gamers2. It was about time. They're going into more Blink Heal. Abathur is going, in this case, of course, again for the ultimate evolution. Probably going to copy Illidan. What's better than Illidan? So maybe with 2 of those they can make that work and start a comeback, because they will have to. The mines, that's the good part for Gamers2, are not opening before they themselves have level 10, and that's a really important part here. If you enter the mines on level 9 and your opponent already has his heroic ability, you are staring a loss right in the face. That is one of those lost situations where you're basically checkmate. Just because there's very little that you can do. If you fight for the mines, you're going to lose heroes, you're never going to get anywhere. If you don't fight for the mines, you're going to run up against the 100 Skull Golem, and that is just brutal. Here comes the now united power of Gamers2, and they're starting to move in against this. They are actually all together, so they're losing out on a lot of potential skulls, but they're trying to take the team fight now, and Alternate Fancy has to rotate around, and that's exactly what they're doing. Darkmob jumps in, gets the stun against Zagara. Here comes also Maelstrom and Divine Shield already being used. Illidan is jumping in, but he dies first, and now they get the kill against Zagara as well. Darkmob is still in the back line here, doing a lot of work, but he was very much alone, and thanks to ADRD's copy on Illidan, they are able to at least take the melee assassin out. 3 kills against 5, a stun against Blumby, he gets the Storm Bolt in, hits the target, and therefore Anubarak is getting Anubarekt. We are having that kill happening here once more, and now this could be a 100 Skull Golem. We could talk about a 100 Skull Golem, and just look about the position up there. It's right at the keep already. I've seen games being ended on this, especially if you're able to get an extra talent up against your opponent before that happens. You can do a ton of work here. So they're moving in once again. Crosby, Bloomby and Happy are already in position with this to make sure that they take down also the last few skulls. Is there a move down to the bot lane? It doesn't really look like it. Gamers2, I mean, it's late. They have to go to DreamHack soon as well. And of course, that might play a role here now too. They're losing all of the skulls. They don't get a single one. They might get a kill though. They might get a kill, and I've seen Team Liquid do amazing things on the top of on the back of one single kill here. But in this case, it's just one that they get and nothing else. It has been a long day. We've been here for 7 hours now. In my case, solo casting. The players, of course, playing and waiting for their opponents. Right now, that boss at the top lane is going to do a whole lot of work. This one over here is probably not going to be able to do too much, to be honest with you. I mean, this is a 1%, one Skull Golem that we have there. So the rotation to the top lane is slowly starting to happen. The problem for Alternate Fancy is that there are currently only 4 players on the map. And with only 4 players, yeah, you can move in with that, but you risk dying and throwing the game, and you don't really want to do that. The 13 talent is there. Finally, we have Uther back to business, so they are starting to rotate over. And, well, there they are. There could be a quick Phoenix. He could throw that in immediately. And, well, the stun! Oh, God, he got stunned by the boss, and Nuburak is down. Oh, guys, this could be the end. This could be the end. Well, the boss is at half HP, so he already took a couple of hits. Oh, the stuns, 1, 2, wow, everywhere. There's suddenly Illidan jumping in, getting shrink rate right away, using his heroic ability on the other hand, and now there's a double Illidan. Double Illidan to wreck the backline, but there's also Carrigan with Divine Shield, always a big, big problem to deal with. But it's a 5 versus 5 again. The boss is starting to move towards the core on the other hand, and they're really going to try and go for it, aren't they? Alternate Fancy, maybe with an opportunity to end this game already and win the GO4Heroes Monthly Final with a 2-0 against Gamers2. They get the kill against Illidan again! A great kill here. Brightwing just barely escaping. Everybody is so low on the other hand. The core is being attacked, but they have a mule, and they are not afraid to use it. The kill potentially against Carrigan, and yes, they are going to get it. Alternate, Happy, and Davis, they are both moving away. There's a quick stun. He sacrifices himself. He just says like, alright, I'm gonna die. It's fine. At least one of us will survive here. And look at that. Oh, it was actually a mana mule that was being dropped there from Alternate Fancy. So right now the core is at 56%. ADRD has to use that. Yeah, I was basically soaking the entire time over here. The problem is if he uses the mule over there to heal the core, then that also means that this fort is potentially gonna fall. because, well, there's a lot of pressure executed by those siege giants. We have 11 kills against 7 right now. The game isn't over yet, but the next mines could definitely decide the match. Depending on how many skulls Alternate Fancy gets, this is going to be it. So, yeah, there's still the potential for a comeback, but you basically have to win every single team fight if you're Gamers2 and make sure that you get the next skulls, or the next mines, most of the skulls here. So there's also now Assault Strain taken. We're gonna see the Locust Brute on level 16 for him, for ADRD. That's something that he actually already used in the past. I think it was the last time on Garden of Terror, but don't take my word for it. It was a while back, like maybe a week or two. There has been a lot of Heroes of the Storm since then. Mid lane is now also being claimed by Alternate Fancy. In experience, they're not that far ahead. They're maybe half a level ahead, a little bit more than that. They're gonna hit level 16 faster, there's no doubt about that, but still. So the mule has been dropped at the core, and over here that means that this one is kinda exposed. They could potentially try and rush for that. Already moving back here, promoted catapults. That alone is very annoying to deal with. Just look how long they need, even with 4 heroes, to take those down. 4 heroes barreling down on the minions and the catapults, and they take this long to take them apart. Promoted catapults are definitely going to be a big issue here. The mines open again in just a few seconds. They're not moving in to take the fort here. I could actually have seen that been done, but well, where is Uther? Uther is now starting to move back down. There they are. Oh my god, he doesn't hit anything. He doesn't hit anything, and Kerrigan gets the stun, and they just annihilate the Beetle again. The Beetle just has no chance there, not even with Spell Shield. Every single time he's getting taken out. Brightwing dead as well, Zagara down, and this is going to be a full wipe, except for Abathor, of course. GG called. This is going to be a 90 skull golem once again, and they are running for it. Devis should actually just like move out onto the top lane and promote the catapults again. GG's already called. Gamers2, they know that at this point, 15 minutes in, a boss is gonna take them out. If you have 93 skulls against 7, then you should be able to end that game. The core is not even at 100%. Yeah, of course, ADRD could maybe drop another mule there, but is that really gonna matter? 17 versus 16. If not for a miracle, this game is gonna end in the hands of of Alternate Fancy, and that would mean that they are winning this series with a 2-0. The grand final could end with a 2-0 here. Could be the first series today that is not going the full distance. And right now, there's the... Oh my god, they're trying to just steal them, aren't they? They're trying to jump in now and take them again. Here comes the stun, and they won both. They won both, and they're moving in right away. Leo was trying to get away with a blink heal. He is dead. They're going for mini Illidan. He got shrink rate, and Shiku is also gonna get stunned. I guess they gave up at this point already. 3 heroes dead once again. This is definitely the final moment of this game, and therefore also of the final of the GO4Heroes Monthly Final. 93 Skull Golem is moving in. Here comes the Mana Mule being dropped down. Somebody plays StarCraft, and goodbye Zerg Queen. Apparently Kerrigan wants to make sure that everybody knows she's the only queen here. Zagara just doesn't count. GG and well played. Alternate Fancy, they take the final with a 2-0. Well played here. Very good performance. Gamers2 taken out without taking a map here, so congratulations to Alternate Fancy.
Alternate Fancy, they take the GO4Heroes Monthly Final with a 2-0 victory versus Gamers2. Very solid play today. They were, these guys, they definitely were able to justify their position in the rankings right now. Such a great control that we saw from them. A very good performance today, and it was a pleasure to watch them. Not only against Gamers2, but also against Team Arthas, against Nihilum, just showing off their skills and showing that they are one of the best teams that we're currently having on the European server. And they're constantly improving. I can't wait to see these guys going up against teams like Na'Vi, like Team Liquid a bit more often, because it's a pleasure to see their play style collide with the style of those big teams there. Very solid performance by them today, and congratulations, of course, for a victory at the GO4Heroes Monthly Final on taking down Gamers2. The Polish team still coming in second place, so it's still a valiant effort. And well, of course, guys, if you enjoyed the series, make sure that you give your video a thumbs up on YouTube. It was a pleasure casting that for you. It was quite a lot of fun to see, especially Haunted Mines, and also the first game where Alternate Fancy excelled with their CC combination. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section, and guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, and I'm going to see you for more Heroes of the Storm content in the near future. Have a great day. Have a good week, and see you soon. Bye bye.